They booed our national anthem, so I had to come out and teach those maple syrup eating freaks a lesson.
That was the video the White House just posted of Team USA star Brady Kachuk, but the problem is, the video was fake. He didn't call Canadians maple syrup eating expletives. And Kachuk felt the need to put out a statement saying, it's not my voice, it's not what I am saying, I would never say that, that's not who I am.
Produce those over, folks. The cover-up continues, and it's absolutely despicable. And speaking of despicable behavior as well, a few other things I want to point out. Did you hear the story? I'm not even going to play the video, but the White House official TikTok account posted an AI video of U.S. hockey star Brady Kachuk, and they put AI words in his mouth, calling Canadians, quote, maple syrup eating, you know I don't like to curse, but I need to give you the evidence, maple syrup eating fucks. So the White House, let me just step back. The White House, the President of the United States official account with the White House, posts an AI video of the U.S. hockey star who just won the gold medal, Brady Kachuk, calling Canadians maple syrup eating fucks.
Shalom. Shalom. Hey, for the longest time, man, the elders, well, I was just watching Elder Yashawamba, and he goes into this all the time, man. Look, what you just saw right there was Esau Edom and even his own beloved, what do you call that, hockey team, right? You know, they just won the gold against Canada, right? Okay, even their beloved hockey team, they putting words in their mouth. All right, so this AI thing is gonna get out of control. Matter of fact, the scripture talked about the miracles that Esau Edom, the beast, aka Esau Edom, the devil the Bible speaks of, was able to perform in these last days. Okay, so what I'm getting at is even their beloved hockey team or whoever or whatever, they putting words in their mouth. And then you got, I guess I'll just go ahead and put it in there. And this is fair use. Okay? This is fair use. I'll put a disclaimer up, all that. I'm not making any money. This is for news and educational and for edification purposes only. Okay? But you saw right there that they're putting words in people's mouths. And he even had to come up and say, well, I would never say anything like that. I didn't say that. So the scriptures are spot on. This is all prophecies that's getting ready to happen. Now, put this in your mind. Think about the things that are going to have the prophets saying, because we use AI, and we realize that a lot of these videos we put up are AI too, but you got to listen to the information. As it's said in the world, eat the meat and spit out the bones. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekaha, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, of whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the 144,000 mighty men out there that would be judges on the earth as it is in heaven, as the scripture said. Also to the Akim and Akwath, the remainder, or the 1/3, shalom to you. It's all about the elect. Revelation 12 verse 10 reads, and again, fair use, and I'm going to try to make this quick. But there's a lot to go into, and now, of course, I got that clip from this guy, Midas Touch. All right, he goes in on Trump and and some of the things of this world, the politics and whatnot. We got to pay attention to everything. Remember, the scripture said, "Walk circumspectly, redeeming the time." Why? Because the days are evil now. Revelation 12 and verse 10 reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and the strength of the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." And again, the reason why I showed you that is because it's so easy for them now. Look, this AI, again, it's getting totally out of control. Some people use it to make music, memes, this or that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the true purpose behind this technocracy and all these things that are going on, these data centers and all that, really is to further. No, well, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is using it to further, his word, his prophecies, but to further, to really usher in that MOTB, man, which is the C hip. All right, and to anybody who don't understand what the C hip is, hey, by now, come on now, it's 2026. You've been told these things for decades. As younger brothers, as myself, have entered into the labors of the apostles and the men who did the work before them. Okay? So yeah, the accuser of the brethren, they're gonna try to, put words in our mouths and do all these different things. See, ultimately, they're gonna blame Jake anyway. You got to pay attention to what's going on. They always blame Jake for one thing or another. Whenever something happens. What they always put a Jake's face up there, right? And this lady right here, this was a quick video that Apostle Tahar put up, going into she said black people, what she's starting to see things. Yahweh Shem Yahushua's putting the spirit on everybody, man. He's opening up his spirit. He's opening up people's understanding and showing people different things. But even she said, why are the black people so persecuted? I just don't get it. And and that also goes along with the Northern Kingdom. Although they haven't. That's a whole nother lesson. I got so much to get into. I'll try to keep it brief. But Northern Kingdom, there's so much. A lot of them are conquistadors, but there's so much racism. The Esau Edom has pushed between the tribes. That they think they fucking white, man. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't give a damn. They think they Edomites, man, and that's the problem. Okay, but anyway, this is what you just watched in the beginning here, and I might as well just play this too. But he's also going into the book of Habakkuk. All right, when it says he laden himself with thick clay and all these different things, but he's going to accuse us and he's going to put words in our mouth. And again, if he does it to his beloved, hockey team, which just won the gold, and you had you had what's his name, Cash Patel, loose, drunk, toe up in the locker room celebrating with him and all that. And these are the people that are in charge of Babylon, man. This place is finished. This place is fucking done, man. It's through. It's through, all kinds of YT, supremacy symbols, signs, tattoos. It's all there. Okay? It's all there, man. And this guy Midas Touch, he's going into, look, he even explains, I might play it in a second, if I can or whatever. I'll just play it and you can hear the audio from it. Because I don't want to play too much of his video. You know how YouTube get down, but he goes into, look, the United States, a.k.a. Babylon, America, right? If they were, I say we, because, we reside with the daughter of Babylon. We do. Okay, but if America was to go to a full-scale war today, he's going into it. He said, look, they only got 10 days worth of supplies, man. And the same thing happened in Rome. If you gotta look back, you gotta know this history. All right, the same thing happened in Rome. Rome was spread too damn thin. The military was spread way too thin. They tried to fight everybody and all over the place, and here it is. Nero, DJ Trump, is making enemies of his own allies, man. Okay, so he ain't gonna have no other choice but to go to war. He has to. That's his next move. Esau got to go to war, man, and everybody should know by now that the hand that rocks the cradle is them small hats, man. Isaiah 29 verse 18 reads, "And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book." And I was just going into that. See that? "And the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness." Let's read verse 19. "The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord Yahweh, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel." See? And the only ones, the poor, Hey, the last shall be the first. See, and the head shall be the tail. All right, and what that's going into, that's the Israelites. That's the ones who's going to have the eyesight, the understanding to know what's going on. And hey, is this not a beautiful time to be living in? And scary at the same time because we understand these scriptures and knowing that, he's going to come in like a flood because if he had but a short time. And the scriptures go into these things and tell us very plainly. It's just basic scriptures. Okay? The Holy One of Israel, man. Verse 20 reads, "For the terrible one is brought to naught." And this is happening through his own media. Again, which the small hats control, is happening through these JE files. Remember, the scripture said all things shall be revealed. Now, it's just my opinion. I'm gonna give you my opinion. I truly believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna hold back on some of the things that Esau Edom has done to us, so we can meditate day and night on them, in the kingdom. In other words, I don't think they're going to let all this stuff out. Remember, there's only 1 or 2, maybe even 3% of the things that in them files and all the different things that Esau Edom has done, which is their MO in the first place. None of this shit surprises me anymore. It don't surprise me, man. This nigga's wicked. You know what I'm saying? All right, but I think he's gonna hold back and show us some of the other things that he's done, so we can really get riled up and get him. Again, that's just my opinion. That's not according to the scriptures. I'm just saying. Okay, but anyhow, for the terrible one is brought to naught. That's Esau Edom, and that's happening daily. Hey, blessed is he that live to see the downfall of his enemy. I pray every day I'd see it, and it's beautiful. Okay. All right, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. Read the book of Obadiah. Verse 21 reads, "That make a man a offender for a word," and that's ultimately what they're getting ready to do. They gonna try to make the Israelites the T word. You already know what it is, okay? Like they do Ishmael, the wild man, but they're gonna try to make us look like this and look like that, and it's gonna be a whole lot easier because American people are stupid. A lot of people will see AI. This shit is getting so real anyway, but a lot of people will see AI and say, "Damn, he did say that," but nah. See, that's why you got to understand and know, the doctrine that's being taught, the 100% truth that's being taught, and you'll know right off the bat, ain't no way that brother said that. You get it? Yeah, ain't no way he said that. Now you gonna have other camps. You got Hebrews and Hellcats and G-wagons. They can't say how about Shem Yahushai, or they refuse to say it, or Gentiles can be, heathens, can be saved because if you know the scriptures say you were once Gentiles in the flesh. Oh boy, it's a whole lot for people, to get into and understand. But if you don't get it by now, I don't know what to tell you. But they're gonna make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. See that? The scripture just said it. They're gonna do that. And turn aside the just for a thing of naught. There it is. It's right there. Okay, that could be the lesson right there. You see? And again, he goes into. Let me cue this up. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. All right. So yeah, let me see if I can find this and cue it up. Sorry, Salaki, my phone's ringing. Somebody trying to call in or whatever. Yeah, that's just Satan. That's all it is. But let's see.
NHL players who I speak to on a regular basis.
Oh, okay. You saw that already. I think I put that in the beginning. Let me see if I can cue this up. Here, let's go ahead and put a face to it. There he is right there. The Midas Touch guy, okay? Where he's going into, America really could only fight a full-scale war for like 10 days, man. So, look, this place is finished. And they're trying to jockey around and, and get everybody. Basically, look, this is Nero. and he's doing the same thing. He's destroying Babylon, man. Let's go.
I love hockey. My best friend Akeem Aliou is a professional hockey player.
Screw hockey.
I try to teach, people about being a man. It's not about
That's neither here nor there, but hey, Jacob is the former of all things. That's another lesson too. Anyway,
degrading and demeaning others. Just because you win the gold medal, let's lift up everybody. The female hockey team won the gold medal as well. With Donald
Slocky, I'm trying to get. If I go too far, I'll fuck up.
Man is stepping up and calling Donald Trump out. So I get that Kachuk is like, well, I would never say that, but call out what's happening. The White House, which is supposed to be a voice of moral clarity, is out there putting those words in your mouth to attack.
Come on, man. Yeah, but like he said, putting the words in your mouth to attack Canada. All right. Hey, he laden himself at thick clay. Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. The nations are mad. The nations are getting incensed. Do you see it? All right.
Canadians, and think about what message this sends to young people. It's absolutely despicable. And with all of this happening, the United States right now is on the eve of war with Iran.
Oh.
Right? I mean, and also what the military generals and what the admirals and people who are in the know are actually saying, though, and warning and leaking to the press, is that the United States does not have the capabilities and resources right now to go to war longer than 10 days.
Woo! Boom! Did you hear that? The United States does not have the resources to go to war more than 10 days. So this place is through. Matter of fact, here, let's get this right quick. I had this pulled up, but I got something else in mind. All right, let the weak say I'm strong. Hey, and they dumping the dollar. The United States had went to, as they, I don't know if it's annually or however many times they do it a year or whatever, but they went to go sell their debt, and nobody bought it. Hey, that's an omen. Nobody bought it, man. And the banks, which is the last resort, it's brothers that can explain this better, a whole lot better. But, and the banks, which, basically is the last resort, had to buy it back up again. So, hey, that's Habakkuk, man. That's Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. Is it 2 and verse 6? Let's get that first. Damn, trying to keep a thought. It's Habakkuk 2 and verse 6. Yeah, that's what's this. Yeah, this is, man, call hello Yahweh Shemi Hawashah, man. Habakkuk 2 and verse 6 reads, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe. What does that mean? Woe means destruction. To him that increaseth, which is not his, how long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay, that's that debt. You go into the dream. All right, Nebuchadnezzar, you go into the dream. And this is happening. This is prophecy. This is absolutely beautiful. You look at, there is no, they call it the debt. There ain't no damn ceiling. And there ain't no paying it back neither. Therefore, the nations are mad. Let's go to Jeremiah. I believe it's Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, verse 7. There it is right there. Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Flee out of, verse 6, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off with her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense, man. So it's payback for everything that Babylon has done. And who resides over that? Esau, Edom. All right? The same person that was prophesied in the scriptures to be in power at the end of the world. Not no damn Japheth. I don't understand that. People just get all kinds of mixed up. They just don't understand. They don't get it. Verse 7 reads, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. You see? Hey, and those so-called European countries, right, which is basically Western Asia, that's what it is, right? hey, they're starting to say, well, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. Then you think they want to go to war with Russia and Iran? And no, India. No, they don't want to go to war with none of them people. They can't win anyway. You just heard what the Midas Touch guy said. You know, I forget what his damn name is, but you heard what he said, didn't you? 10 damn days. Let's take it back. Let's hear that one more again. I said one more again. You heard it.
And leaking to the press is that the United States does not have the capabilities and resources right now to go to war longer than 10 days.
Boom!
We have a 10-day supply of ammunition. That's it, 10 days. Because we're so stretched thin at this point. I'm going to do another video of it this morning.
What did he say? Because we're so stretched thin at this point. Let's prove a point. Let's prove a point. Rome. Let's see. You know, I really want some AI. Well, it's got an AI summary. Yes. See what it says? Yes, the Roman army was stretched too thin, right? Contributing to the empire's decline. Boom, there it is. All right. As the Roman Empire expanded, it faced numerous threats along its vast borders. Hey, this is happening right here in Babylon, Rome 2.0. All right. So there it is. I don't need to read any more of that. All right. You know, going into that debt. Look at this. There was a certain article I wanted to pull up, man, but I'm not sure if I can. You know, I'm going to deny that. All right. And let's get rid of that. Investors dump U.S. government bonds as faith in America falters. You see that? Okay. Now I know I understand this. You know, this lesson is sort of going a different route, but that's just the way the Spirit took me. But look, Esau Edom is going to make a man an offender for a word, and they're going to put words, in our mouths with this AI shit. But again, if you understand and know, you're going to know that brother or whoever didn't say that shit. They didn't say it, and they didn't do it. You'll know. Okay, investors dump U.S. government bonds as faith, falters, all right? It's all there, man. It's all there. I wanted to make this a little quicker than what it is, but, it is what it is. The phrase, who shall see us? And let me read this, and we'll close out. All right, who shall see us appears in Isaiah 29 and verse 15. I don't want to read that. I want to read the scripture. Let's go straight to the scriptures. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, man. Matter of fact, I think I read that already. Or did I? Yeah, I read that. Yep. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So, all right, Israel, I'll leave it right there. All right, just to make it quick, straight, and to the point. The main thing was in the beginning there, showing you that they got the technology to put words in your mouth. And again, this AI stuff is getting absolutely out of control. I mean, there's some videos that, you could, for the most part, you can tell, you can see, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you can see that it's fake, but sometimes you can't. It's sort of hard to tell. I'm just saying. Hopefully the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai give you the eyesight and the understanding to know what's fake and